Hari Bol, Hare Krishna. Om Jnana Timirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Sri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kada Mahyam Dadati Swapadantikam. Vandeham Shri Guruho Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurum Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathan Vitam Tang Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakan Vitamscha Namah Vishnu Padaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hari Bol. Hare Krishna. Welcome to the last concluding session of the 24 Gurus series. And you thought it is over. I also thought it is over. As per the listing, we have done 24 plus Gurus maybe. And to give others an intro, we are talking about a very interesting aspect of the Bhagavat in the 11th canto. That is a wonderful dialogue between an Avadhuta, an amazing sannyasi, a renunciant, who is living in his own wonderful consciousness. In the modern world, they'll say, oh, he's working in his own silo, not seeing anything else. But here is a person who's not in a silo externally. He's very observant of everything that's going around him. But internally, inside, he has an amazing insight, deeply. Why? Because he's very spiritually advanced person. So the way he sees the world around, the world view, as we say, is so different from what we all see. And he's giving that angle. I shouldn't call it a perception. It is something more than just a perception. It's seeing the truth and learning lessons from it. So it's very interesting because the world is not what you see. The popular saying in science is, the world is not what you see as it is. What you see is what you are. You see according to what your consciousness is. But that's not what is actually existing there in reality in front of you. Every one of us, according to the influence of the modes of material nature, see the world as you should see it, so that your karma functions, so that your horoscopes, all aspects take place, so that you will see it according to the modes governing you. It's very interesting to note this. Very, very interesting to note this. So even in the material science, they'll tell you that the world is not what you see. In quantum physics, they'll tell you that. So it's not that I'm saying this, but it's also sort of verified by science. So this Avadhuta is able to see it as it is, although he's remaining in the world. And then he is able to convey that in such a manner that somebody like Maharaja Yadu, who's so absorbed in his perception of the world, Atmavat Manyate Jagat. As you see yourself, you'll see the world. Very interesting, huh? As you see yourself, you'll see the world. Maharaj Yadu is seeing the world as he sees himself. So when he's spoken to about a bee, about an elephant, about a deer, about a snake, he's going to see something different. But here, that Avadhuta is seeing it in a different way and getting different lessons, and he's conveying it in a manner that Maharaj Yadu will understand. That's another thing. He's not speaking the way he sees it fully. He's speaking in such a way as a powerful preacher that Maharaj Yadu will understand. Lessons. So we heard all these things. Don't think these are just ordinary stories, ordinary examples that many people give about nature and beauty, and we can learn this and that. That is one aspect. That's for gratification you can do. Here is lessons for understanding the truth, the nature of the world, how modes affect the people in this world and the creatures in this world, living entities in this world, how they adapt themselves to nature, and what all things they do and what you can learn spiritually as a transcendentalist from them. That's the way you should look at it. So today, although we spoke about many different topics previously, today I want to share with you something about your body, which is one of the last lessons he gives. And I will also visit what are the conclusive things that we can understand from this interesting explanation given by this Avadhuta. The last time I spoke to you about the Wasp, and something very amazing he learned from the Wasp. This shloka, I think you remember, I'm just trying to connect our present session with the previous one. Kitaha peshas kritam dhyayan kudyam tena praveshitaha yati tat satmatam rajan purva rupam asantyajan. O king, once a wasp forced a weaker insect to enter his hive and kept him trapped there. In great fear, the weak insect constantly meditated upon his captor, and without giving up his body, he gradually achieved the same state of existence as the wasp. Thus, one achieves a state of existence according to one's constant concentration. And we spoke about dhyana, we spoke about meditation, we spoke about this example. We can understand that by dhyana and meditation, we can change our consciousness. Although we may remain in this body, we can change our consciousness. And that's what this Avadhuta has already done. His consciousness is not like what Maharaj Yadu is seeing, because he's lying down somewhere, he looks dirty, and he's got not much clothing on his body, and he's like this. But internally, he's a very different person from what he is externally. He's enjoying a higher consciousness. So he's saying that while in this body, it's called Jivan Mukta. While inside this body itself, you can become detached from this body, and you can have another consciousness, which means that whatever you are meditating on, you will become that internally, although you are in a different body. So although you're in an insect's body, from this particular example, although you're an insect's body, because you're put inside that nest of the wasp, and it comes regularly and stings you and goes, and every time it comes and stings you and goes, constantly you're thinking about the wasp in fear. And then so much intensely you're thinking that internally you become the wasp. And you're able to actually fight that wasp because you made a change from inside out. This is very amazing example. So considering that, you will see another shloka from the Bhagavatam, which I wanted to include today. An amazing statement made by Shukadeva Goswami. Gopyah kamat bhayat kamsho dvesha chaidyadayo nripaha sambandhat vrishnayah snehat yuyam bhaktya vayam vibho. I didn't have time to get this translation out. Somebody can do that. From the Srimad Bhagavatam 7.1.3, and you can put it up in the chat. Shukadeva Goswami is making a statement. It's about meditation on Krishna. You see, gopis had lusty desire towards Krishna. Kamsa had bhayat kamsho. He was so afraid of Krishna and he was thinking about him constantly. Dveshat, hatred Shishupala had. Chaidya, Dayo. All of them achieved Krishna because of their meditation. Although it was unfavorable to say that Kamsa meditated favorably. No, unfavorably he meditated. But the nature of the absolute is such that favorable or unfavorable in the material realm, you touch the absolute truth by your meditation, you will get it. It may be favorable or unfavorable, but you'll get one limit of it beyond which you can develop it. Yuyam bhaktya vayam vibho. You'll get a chance to become a devotee. Your consciousness will change. That's the power of meditating on the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So, although by a Wasp meditation that's mentioned here, you can become, the body can become irrelevant to you and you can achieve a different consciousness, still you need your body to interact with this world. So it's mentioned, the body is like a guru. Deha gurur mama virakti vivekta hetur bibhratsma sattva nidhananam satarthi udarkam tatvani anene vimshashani yatha tatapi parakyam iti avashito vijarami asangaha. He concludes by showing this, that your body, the material body, is also my spiritual master, also my guru, because it teaches me detachment. Being subject to creation and destruction, it always comes to a painful end. Thus, although using my body to acquire knowledge, I always remember that it will ultimately be consumed by others, parakyam, and remaining detached, I move about this world. He's giving a final thing, that I am not this body, but I'm going to use this body. And this body is my guru. Why? It teaches me detachment. Why? Because the body is the biggest instrument I use for my gratification. My sense gratification, my tongue, my eyes, my ears, my throat, my skin, all these things interact with the modes of interact with the tanmatras, the objects of the senses, and give me the titillating dopamine that is required, which modern behavioral scientists would talk about dopamine generation. But there is something more fundamental to it. These senses contact the sense objects, and in their interaction, they develop sense gratification. This is happening. Chemicals like dopamine developing in the brain is subsequent to this. Something more fundamental is happening. And this body, when I understand how it is working and entrapping me in sense gratification, when I cut it off and use my body for connecting with the absolute truth, then I become happy. So this body, by knowledge through the subtle body, I understand this gross body is going to give me this type of pain, subtle body is going to give me that type of pain. So I, as spirit soul, separate myself from this body. I am not attached to the gratification that the body can give me. Rather, I use the body for achieving self-realization, for achieving God realization. And the body teaches me this because I'm deeply involved with my body in gratification. And when I do this, I make the body an instrument. So the body is my guru. This is a very amazing conclusion. So, parakyam is the word used. If cremated, the body is burned to ashes by fire. If lost in a lonely place, it is consumed by jackals and vultures. And if buried in a luxurious coffin, it decomposes and is consumed by insignificant insects and worms. Thus, it is described as parakyam, ultimately to be consumed by others. This is the knowledge he has. The way he looks at the body is so different. Let's give an example of how he has learned from things around him, including his body. And he's saying, my body, which is so dear to me, you know why it's cremated? Why in the Hindu scriptures, I should say the Vedic following, you cremate the body? Why? Because the soul is so attached to the body, even if it is forcibly separated by Yamaraj from the body, we'll try to go back into that body and sit in it. Because the body is where I have lived, my house, for my whole lifetime, for 80 years, 90 years, 100 years. My real residence is the body, not the rented house or the own house that I have, built in bricks and mortar. This is my real residence of the soul. And through this, I've interacted with the world around, the people around, and this has been the via media. And I love it so much. I want it so much. I develop it so much. I look after it so much. But he has understood that there is an end to this body. Knowing that I move around in this world, that one day it will fall down. Patatti avashyam slatasandi jarjaram kim aushadai klishyasi mudadhurmate niramayam krishna rasayanam piva. Kuleshekara Alva's very famous shloka, which I am quoted often. That this body is a nerve connections and a lot of junctions in it, and there is blood vessels and so many things. It's a complicated connection of many things, but it's all material. Why, you fool, are you torturing this body with medicines thinking that it will last forever? Patatti avashyam, it will definitely fall down, Kuleshekara Alvar says. There is a time limit on it. It will fall down one day. So this Avadhuta has understood that this body will fall down, but this body is very useful because it teaches me virakti. The body is teaching me detachment. So it is my guru. Because the guru's real business is to take a person from material attachment to detachment and give him spiritual attachment and give him attachment to Krishna, love of Godhead. So guru, what he speaks will normally not be liked by a materialistic person. A genuine guru, I mean. A genuine guru will try to take you out of attachment and put you into devotional service. And most of the things he says, you will hate him for it. If you're very materially attached with no spiritual, enlightenment at all. But one who is spiritually enlightened to some extent and knows, he will appreciate the guru, that you're giving me this type of information and knowledge and inspiration to detach myself. So in material terms, normally people won't like such a spiritual guru. But the guru's real job is to detach, give the candidate all types of instructions and information by his own personal example on how to remain detached. If you look at Prabhupada's life history, you'll know he was very detached from his family, from the money he was sitting on, huge, as the founder of the International Society for Krishna Consciousness. Till the last moment, he was walking on the beach with his cane and talking about, oh, I am not the body, I am spirit soul. In his life, you can see he lived that type of a life. So he gave instructions for everybody to move ahead. Don't worry about these temporary things, these possessions, these attachments don't matter. Your spirit soul, you're forever. You look at the absolute, you look at eternality. He gave instructions like that. That's a genuine guru. For a genuine guru, he gives instructions, and a genuine person who's really interested in spiritual life will appreciate it very much. Will appreciate it very much. So this is the way how the body is my guru. Because the body is genuinely teaching me detachment. Why? It becomes sick, gives me pain, gives me anxiety, and then it's also going to leave me. It's going to die. and I'm going to be forever, of course, living. So it teaches me detachment. So it's my guru. To accept the body as a guru is a very high level of spiritual realization. This is the final instruction he gives. So the conclusion is, you learned from 24 different gurus or 25 gurus, all sorts of things. Does it mean that I should have a multi-guru life? Does it mean that I should have many, many gurus? No. No. You should have one guru, but learn from many gurus, which means that you should surrender to the words of one guru, and you can learn from many Siksha gurus. All of them are your instructing gurus. You can learn from instructors. Sometimes the instructors are more prominent in your life than the person who gave you Diksha. That doesn't matter. My personal understanding is Krishna is the real guru. He operates through his many agencies. In the Chaitanya Charitamrita, it speaks about Antaryami Guru. The Guru is inside your heart as super soul, as the Paramatma. Then there is the Guru, whom Krishna sends as an agent to you to give a Bhagavad Gita book to you. On the roadside, you met him. Varshama Pradarshaka Guru. Vartama means in the present. Pradarshaka Guru means showing the path. Please read Gita. Why don't you take a copy? It's so wonderful. It's changed my life, changed the life of millions of people. Why don't you also change your life again? He's a Vartama Pradarshaka Guru. And you like it. Thank you. I was thinking that I should get some advice like this. Who are you? And then he gets to know about him. And then he says that you take this Gita and read, you come and join in my sessions here, there, whatever. You may be able to do it, not able to do it. But he's shown the path. Then there is the Siksha Guru, who really you go to and who becomes your good friend and who constantly answers all your questions, who teaches you from the Bhagavad, who teaches you from the Bhagavad Gita, he teaches you from his own life, and he exposes himself to you. And then in this way, you become inspired to detach yourself, inspired to accept spiritual life, inspires to take up Krishna consciousness. His Siksha Guru is maybe very important for you because he teaches you, he takes interest in you, and you accept him as a disciple. And then you learn in this way. You accept him as Guru, and then you learn. Sikshasteham shadimam tvam prapannam. Then this type of a person, you approach him and say, formally, I want to accept you as a Guru. Give me Diksha. So the Siksha Guru also becomes a Diksha Guru. The prominent Siksha Guru, whom you relate very much with, becomes your Diksha Guru. This is the process described in the Chaitanya Charitamrita. So all these are agents of Krishna. Sometimes somebody gets more inspiration from the Siksha Guru. Maybe he doesn't see much of the Diksha Guru. Sometimes the Diksha Guru is very close to him and is constantly serving his Vapu, and he becomes very inspired by that service, and in this way he's remaining in that agency of Krishna. Some people in the forest, like a sannyasi, is always depending on the Antaryami Guru, on the super soul, and getting guided in the forest. Narada Muni gave instructions to Uddhava Maharaj. And Uddhava Maharaj, he was told to meditate, and the super soul was sitting in your heart. And then he described him to him, and in this way he meditated on the super soul. Super soul came out and gave him darshan. That's when super soul he wanted to speak to, and he gave him a conch shell on his head. He gave a touch and said, okay, speak. I give you the power to speak. And in this way he spoke. So all different stories you'll hear about people inspired by Guru in different ways. Here Maharaj Yadu is inspired by this Avadhuta. He has learned so many things from this Avadhuta. So Krishna is Adi Guru, and he sends many different agents. Some people are very attached to Bhakti Vedanta Swami Prabhupada, quite naturally so. He wrote all the books. He is the foundational Guru. Founder Acharya Bhakti Vedanta Swami Prabhupada, you see it written. And a lot of people are very inspired by Prabhupada's movement, his life, his history and teachings, his books. You open Prabhupada's books today, you can feel the presence of Prabhupada. He talks to you. So some people are very inspired by Prabhupada to such a great extent that they will even file a court case and win it and uphold it and say that you should all do this. You should all believe only in Prabhupada, and like that. That might be, it's a good point in one sense, but sometimes it may be to another extreme. Some others will require, no, I know this is very important, but I need a living guru to actually tell me what's going on every day and be in touch with it. And I will better understand Prabhupada and appreciate him better. So there are all permutations and combinations. For somebody, Prabhupada is very intensely influencing him. For somebody, the Diksha Guru is intensely influencing me because I'm in touch with them and everything. So for somebody else, a Siksha Guru is intensely influencing because he cares for me, gives me information, things like that. But all of them are actually representatives of Krishna. There may be more of this and less of this in your life, but doesn't matter. I don't think why people are fighting over Diksha Guru, Siksha Guru, this, that, and everything. I do agree that Prabhupada is the foundational guru because he named himself Founder Acharya. I should be known like this, and I am the foundational guru giving you all the information, and everybody should bring others to Prabhupada using his books and using his foundational Siksha. And that works in Kali Yuga. Prabhupada has got that potency to influence many people, inspire many people. So this way we can learn that I may have many different types of association, especially now with the social media and the internet access, and everybody can access all sorts of people and get inspired by all sorts of people. Nobody will restrict them. He, at a different point of time in the world, when there was no maybe social media and all this electronic and technological, absorption, he was able to see the world around him and get absorbed in many different types of lessons from different types of creatures, different types of species of life. And he learned from the ocean, he learned from the mountain, he learned from many things. So, but today the same thing translates into, you go into the social media and you have all sorts of people that you can access and you can speak to. It can be Sri Vaishnavas, it can be Madhvas, it can be Gaudiya Vaishnavas, it can be ISKCON people, it can be there. Who knows who's listening to whom? I don't know. And sometimes our own devotees from ISKCON listen to all sorts of people. They gather information, cut and paste from here and present it in a different way to others. They do all sorts of things. But who is really inspiring you to take up Krishna consciousness? That becomes a very important personality in your life. Krishna is working through him on you, according to your own choice. So it's not that we should have multi-gurus. That's not the lesson we learn. We should learn, if you're really focused on advancing yourself spiritually, you will take any opportunity to learn. And Krishna is operating as a guru through various agencies. When Prabhupada was producing the Back to Godhead in a small sheet, going to the press, buying the paper and getting donations and preaching and distributing this to everybody, one person who appreciated Prabhupada's words said, why are you producing it in this paper? People will read it and throw it away, it will be wasted. Produce a book, then nobody can throw it away and this will always remain with them and they'll keep reading it. Prabhupada was stunned with that injunction, with that advice. Immediately he said, my Guru Maharaj is coming through this person and telling me, don't produce it in this paper, they can be lost, and they'll tie some, Moongfali, Verkadale, or put some jal muri and give it to somebody, and that fellow will throw it. Put it in a book, nobody can get rid of it. He said, my Guru Maharaj is coming and giving me this instruction. I was able to recognize this an instruction coming from Krishna through my Guru and through this person whom I don't know. He's just coming and advising me all of a sudden. But he recognized it. If you're spiritually sensitive, you can recognize Krishna coming through various gurus and telling you. From the heart, he's giving you information as Antaryami Guru. From somebody who's going to come in front of you and say something to you which will be very useful and important for you. If you're spiritually sensitive, you can make it out. This Avadhuta was spiritually very highly elevated, so he can take all these lessons from what he's seeing, right? So we should become spiritually sensitive and capable of understanding these instructions and seeing Krishna's instruction coming through various situations in our life. If you're spiritually insensitive, normally we're not bothered about it much. Okay, fine. Right now I'm interested in sense gratification and I want this happening, this success, this enjoyment. And so the voice of the guru coming through various agency is not very loud enough to absorb you. But when we actually perform as per Guru, start chanting Hare Krishna, getting up for Mangalarti, worshipping Krishna, reading Prabhupada's books, doing the service assigned to us and expected of us, gradually we develop spiritual sensitivity. And then we can see these instructions. Right? In this way, all of these instructions are very true. And if you walk into the forest chanting Hare Krishna, maybe you will see something that gives you an instruction, because Krishna will inspire you with that instruction. So remain spiritually very sensitive and follow Prabhupada's instructions. He's a real great Acharya, a foundational Siksha Guru for people in Kali Yuga. And if you listen to his instructions, read his books, and follow his regimen of chanting Hare Krishna 16 rounds a day, waking up early in the morning, keeping away from bad company, not browsing in the internet and seeing all sorts of unnecessary things. Focus. And if you do these things, you will see you become very sensitive, like this Avadhuta, and also learn. Okay? I will end here with these few comments that I wanted to make in a concluding session. And if you have any questions, I'll be happy to help you with some clarification. Okay? Om Tat Sat. Questions on your body, how it's your guru, or on what's the meaning of guru, which is a big discussion going on everywhere. Volcanic eruption of Guru Tattva discussions and whatnot going on because of the great challenge our society is facing. But I don't want to get too much into all the intricacies of that, but I like to learn lessons from that case history if they are relevant. Okay, questions? Can you all put on your videos for a change? I never asked this of you. Let's see in the concluding session who are the people who are hanging around. Yeah, questions while they're putting on the videos. Oh, thank you. Akshay Dikshit has put up, my dear King Yudhishthira, the gopis by their lusty desires, Kamsa by his fear, Sishupala and other kings by envy, the Yadus by their familial relationship with Krishna, you Pandavas by your great affection for Krishna, and we the general devotees by our devotional service have obtained the mercy of Krishna. Right? Absorption. And then Dandavat Pranam, Vivek. What if one didn't get initiation from Diksha Guru, or the Guru didn't give Diksha? What is the position of that devotee? Well, you see, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur went to Gaur Kishore Das Babaji Maharaj to get initiation. And Gaur Kishore Das Babaji Maharaj said that you're a true learned scholar and this thing, or I am just an ordinary person. I mean, I know I'm great friends with your father, but I don't think I can initiate you. I'm not qualified to be a guru for you. And Bhakti Thakur, truly like a nice son, went back and told his father. Father said, no, unless you get initiated by him, I think your life will be wasted. And he gave him a light hint that don't think that this person is not educated. Because Gaur Kishore Das Babaji Maharaj was illiterate. In those days, people are very sophisticated. They have subtle, nuanced talk enough to pick up the sensitivity of another person. Nowadays, we are like donkeys. Even if you beat you 1,000 times, you will not understand. What are you telling? Why are you telling? You will not understand. But culture makes you highly sensitive. And because culture is lacking a lot nowadays, we don't have that sensitivity. But however, Bhaktisiddhanta Sri Thakur, when he went and he heard from his father, he said, "Oh, that's it. My father has said so." He went back to Gaur Kishore Das Babaji Maharaj and said, "Listen, I just want to tell you, if you don't initiate me, I commit suicide and I die because my life is worthless without your instruction, without your shelter." I mean it. And he was a person so determined he would do it, because Gaur Kishore Das Babaji Maharaj already knew him like that. So he said, okay, don't do that. I'll initiate you. And he gave initiation. And he was an amazing disciple of Gaur Kishore Das Babaji Maharaj, who understood the heart of Gaur Kishore Das and executed many things. And that's why you have Prabhupada, and that's why we are all sitting here and hearing this thing. So that instance of wanting to get initiated, sometimes people become fanatic about certain things. So it doesn't matter, because Diksha is a process leading from one to the other, to the other, to the other. That requires a separate discussion and talk. We will do it on some other day. But what I'm trying to say is, if somebody didn't give Diksha, it may be due to many reasons. You can ask why, and you can clarify it. So it's as simple as that. And we are in an organization. If you're talking about ISKCON, we're in an organization, and the organization has got control management systems, and gurus are appointed by the organization. And we have many systems like that, and that's the way Prabhupada has set it up. So there are organizational things also involved. That's briefly my answer to your question. The next one is Mohini Satyabhama saying, Hare Krishna Maharaj, when we become sick, we feel frustrated. How do we get detachment from body? Well, the body is here to give you suffering. Happy suffering is what I like to say. You're not going to escape any suffering. It's some illusory thing to say, this body is suffering, this life is suffering. Dukkha-dayam ashashvatam napnuvanti mahatmana. This is a reality. I don't want to deny it with you. Because normally when I'm speaking to newcomers, I say, no, it's very wonderful, and all that. But actually, life is designed for dukkha. That is mentioned by Krishna in Bhagavad Gita. You are in a horrible situation. It's just that you are so illusioned, you don't wake up to it. And if we talk about it to you before you got some level of spiritual development, you most probably think you guys are very negative and never want to come back to you and run away. You will say it's negative. No, it's reality. The reality is that life is pretty tough. It's difficult. There's a lot of things going on. And in our momentary, illusory things, we think everything is fine, because that's the constant prompt inside your head through the modes. Don't worry, everything is fine. Walk into this, walk into that. That's going on. That's how life is. That's how life is. So you becoming sick, we feel frustrated. Yes, because we are in the bodily concept of life, we will feel frustrated. How do we get detachment from the body? Nicely study Prabhupada's books. Use your intelligence to counter your frustration. This is an intelligent job. Why do you think Prabhupada has given all these books and all these concepts and understanding? You have to use your intelligence. Frustration, mental depression, that thing is all on the level of the mind. You have to wake up and use, and it's a great challenge. That's why we need association of people who strongly believe in this and execute it and are convinced about it. And that inspires us. If he can do it, I can also do it. I also have it in me. I can awaken my spiritual consciousness. That inspiration comes and you also start working. But there is no separate pill that I can give you. Take the pill and it'll be all right. I don't have any such quick fix prescription to give you. Like I quoted Kulashekara Alvar and said, this body is miserable. No doubt about it. If you understand your real situation, who are you actually, you will understand this body is miserable. But we are in illusion because we don't have real knowledge. As it is understanding we don't have. So therefore we carry on thinking this is the way it's supposed to be. I'll make some adjustments, it'll become all right, let me continue with my gratification. Things like that. The shallow understanding of life. So sickness, body, difficulties force us to think deeply. And in order to think deeply and don't speculate, we need the Shastra with us. When we read the Shastra, when we read Prabhupada's books, we can put our suffering in this body in proper perspective with knowledge. Then we know this is what's happening. What can I do? The only thing is I should develop love for Krishna. Let me do that. That's the long-term proper cure for this. And we must be investing in that. And at the same time, we do some short-term stuff because why? I'm not so advanced. So it's really making me very miserable. I may do something crazy. So therefore, I need some short-term stuff. Go to a psychiatrist, go to a counselor. And some of these things also you need to do. Both the things. I tell people, it's not that I can tell people, become detached and tell you, you're not able to do it yet. Not able to do it. So take it from where they are. And say, okay, sometimes people say, I want to do this homa, yajna, go to this temple. I say, yeah, go ahead and do it. Why not? If you think that's going to help out, at least mentally you're freed. But the ultimate thing is lack of Krishna consciousness, forgetfulness of the Lord has put us into all these problems. There is no doubt about it. That's the foundational reason, right? We're not able to take that in fully. And even if we take that in fully also, we're not able to execute that fully. So therefore, we need to have other crutches also. But we should know these crutches are just temporary. But I'll just give myself a massage a little bit. I'll go to the psychiatrist. I'll read Daniel Kahneman's book on intuitive stuff. And I'll read this and feel, wow, let me discipline myself like this, like that. All these things also would help on the material side. So that's my take on it. Don't be too harsh on yourself and tell yourself that I should become a pure devotee and nothing less. And then you go mad after some time because you don't have that capacity. So do it in a balanced way. That's why we need Guru to tell us, I'm doing too much of it. A few years back, one of our devotees' wife was a health health buff or health fad. And one of those naturopathy doctors there, it said fasting is very good. You feed only on this and all that. And then the more you fast, the better. And then your body will she went on a complete trip with fasting. She died fasting. And the husband, oh my gosh, she's the initiated devotee of Radhanath Maharaj, so a disciple of Radhanath Maharaj. And he kept telling her, listen, you don't have to do this. Don't have to kill yourself like this. You have kids and I'm waiting for you. Why do you go on a trip with that fellow, that doctor? The doctor, is on the phone inspiring her. Go ahead, you did one day, next day. She did 40 days fasting. She died at the end of it. Then I told the guy, go get that goddamn doctor, that stupid counselor. Well, he said, I did not ask her to fast like that. I told her to eat. He just said it. But she did not eat. After dying, he's saying all these things. So I took that as a classic case of somebody overdoing something on yourself. There should be balance. There should be balance. And then that devotee went into such a depression and said, what a useless, people around me. My wife doesn't listen to me. She died by not listening to me. And she died listening to that doctor. So I take this as an example sometimes to tell devotees, don't overdo it. Be a little balanced. Don't kill yourself too much. With some sort of a loss that happened, don't kill yourself. You need to live. You need to bother about your spiritual life. The rest is all external. Don't take it to the limits. I'm saying this, I keep counseling all sorts of devotees. But I see some of them don't use their intelligence. And they become independent of anybody else telling them, including their husband, their good friends, and everybody else. Or they do something completely crazy, like dying. What a waste of a life, I said to his husband. Said, I mean, she was so good, she was so talented in many things, and I was telling her to do this and that. Finally, she landed up listening to a doctor and dying out of fasting. What a waste of a life, right? So be careful. Your spiritual life and the spiritual things that you need to do, some secondary things also which you need to do. It requires intelligence to live life properly in a balanced way. You need a guru. You need a person. You need to be nicely, intelligently also listening to him. Yasya nasti swayam prajna shastra karoti kim. What can Shastra do to you if you don't have your own intelligence functioning? Chanakya Pandit said, Lochanevam vihinasya darpanam kim karishyati. If you don't have eyes, what is the use of looking at a mirror? So use your intelligence. And that's what you learn from this Avadhuta. He's used his intelligence and practically very smartly used it and focused it to advance himself spiritually and navigate his way through life. All sorts of people will say all sorts of things to you. Use your intelligence, okay? I am in hospital waiting room, so not able to put on it. Okay, fine. Body is procured from material energy, which is turn is from Maya Shakti of the Lord. Does it in a way indicate ultimately Krishna is the Guru via the body form? Well, that's an extended conclusion. But yeah, true. Everything is coming from Krishna. There's no doubt about it. If we can understand that, at least theoretically, we can remind ourselves about it. Ultimately, Krishna is the Guru via the body form. That alone, that bit alone, everything belongs to Krishna. That doesn't mean, therefore, Krishna is Guru. Krishna is not saying he is Guru because everything belongs to him. Krishna is saying he is Guru because he can give you the correct advice on how to separate yourself from this material realm. That's the advice he can give you. You have to tread the path. Krishna can only show you the path. The Guru can only show you the path. The Guru also can be a person who will model it. But beyond that, everybody has got his own independence. Even Krishna has given you your independence. But you have to act. The responsibility lies on you. Okay? So, true, body is procured from the material energy, which is in turn from Maya Shakti, and it is under the Lord. Therefore, listen to Krishna's instructions. He has given it in the Bhagavad Gita. Don't have your own speculated instruction of Krishna. Read the Bhagavad Gita and see Krishna has given instructions there about the body, about you, and how to utilize the body. So we are not people who reject the body because it is material. Nirbandha Krishna Sambandhe Yuktam Vairagyam Uchyate. We do Yukta Vairagya. We utilize everything and everything possible without rejecting anything, provided it can help us in achieving love of Krishna. If it's useful for my Krishna consciousness, I don't detach myself from my body artificially. I'll use my body. I'll use my body to get Krishna consciousness. If I get a Rolls Royce as a donation, and if I need to travel in that to help somebody else to become Krishna conscious and to help myself do it, I'll do it. I'm not going to say, I'm a sannyasi, I will not travel in a Rolls Royce. This is what we learn from our acharyas. You see, Bhaktisiddhanta Sri Thakur went in a Rolls Royce to Vrindavan. Purposely. Because all the Babajis there were talking about renunciation, this, that, and they were actually abject, sense gratifiers, sitting there and saying all sorts of things. He put a big overcoat. You'll see that picture of him standing by the Rolls Royce. It seems I heard he wore leather shoes also. Let's see what they say. I heard this, I don't know. He came in a Rolls Royce. My gosh, a few Britishers had Rolls Royce those days. He came in a Rolls Royce and landed in Vrindavan. He wore a huge coat right from bottom to the top to his ankles. And then he had a turban. It's completely unconventional. He comes and gets down in a Rolls Royce. Let's see you guys speak now. I know how to use a Rolls Royce to spread Krishna consciousness and do service to Krishna. Maybe you don't know. You don't do it. You have your langoti and you sit there as Babaji's, and then you have gratification of a different sort and you're living off people. But I will not reject anything that I can use in the Lord's service. Yukta Viragya. So we should use our body in the service of Krishna without attachment to it. Always in scripture one reads Krishna consciousness has to be performed with the instructions of the Guru, but many times we don't understand how Guru is instructing. Kindly tell how Guru instructs. Guru instructs by opening his mouth and answering your question. There's nothing great. It's not some rocket science. And Guru will instruct you. You ask him question, he will instruct you. And you can cross-check, it is there in Prabhupada's books. And you can cross-check and see he is also living and following it. Therefore, it is true. That's all. There's no great rocket science in this. There's nothing so difficult to understand what Guru is speaking and all that. Maybe some false gurus who are speaking, you cannot understand what they are saying, why they are saying. In fact, they themselves don't understand what they are saying. Many of those things you can hear, right? But here, Krishna is involved. He's the linking factor, the common factor. And he's in the heart of the Guru instructing you, and he's in your heart, and he's clinching that understanding. We are Krishna consciously understanding. We know Krishna is playing his role. Even now, as I talk to you, Krishna is playing his role from your heart as Paramatma, giving you the understanding. If you have the desire, if you have the focus and the intention, right? I also have the desire today to spend time with you. It is Ekadashi. I feel a responsibility that should come and address. And I'm doing it. And I'm relying on the Antaryami Guru, on Prabhupada's teachings, on my Guru, on many Siksha Gurus I know, and inspiration from them and conveying to you. Krishna is a common factor in all of these things, right? It's a Krishna conscious interaction. Krishna knows what's happening right now, here. So that's how things are working. It's not working divested of Krishna. So we must try as much as possible to factor Krishna in our lives, in our everyday affair, in our thinking. Make it a practice. That's what is yoga. Machitta sarva durgani mat prasadat darishasi atachetvam ahankara nasroshasi vinangshasi. This internal work we have to do. It's tough. Sometimes it's difficult with all the millions of things that we have to do. But we have to practice it internally. Afterwards, it will become a normal thing. In Prabhupada's life, you'll see it's perfectly normal that he can climb a ship at 70 years old, take 2 heart attacks, and continue depending on Krishna. And go into a foreign land, start preaching Krishna consciousness. Some hippie guys, whoever Krishna sent in front of me, that's okay. I'll cook for them. I'll teach them Bhagavad Gita. I'm completely dependent on you, Krishna. Krishna tested him for 1 year, just kept him in the US. And he's completely surrendered. And then Krishna opened up opportunities to him like nothing. Because you're very surrendered. And you work as my instrument. Here it is. And then Prabhupada went all out and jumped into it. And traveled the world 14 times. And then preached in every place, open up and say, Krishna is responding. I'm going to do it. At the last bit of his life, he did it and boom, he left. It's called the second breath. In athletes, they will run, and the last bit they have to finish is the most important thing. They'll put all their stuff inside and they run the last bit across the finishing line. They've been running for long, and the finishing line they do it. So Prabhupada, all his life he was thinking how to do this service, how to do this service, how to do service. Krishna gave him opportunity at the end of his life. He did it. He actually did it. That's why we are all sitting here, right? So we never know. His life was filled with dependence on Krishna under any situation and circumstance. So let's try to be Krishna conscious. Keep trying. That's all. We are conditioned souls. Keep trying. Keep hearing Bhagavatam. Keep hearing Bhagavad Gita. Keep reading. Keep trying. You never know when it clicks. Krishna is watching all the time. Okay, I think who is that? Our doctor. He had his hand up.
Hare Krishna Maharaj.
Yeah, Anil. Yeah. Okay.
Maharaj.
Yeah.
Maharaj, today, I mean, human body is impermanent, but it's a beautiful piece of work that we have. And you explained very well by how we should use it. And the whole idea of having this human body is to get the intelligence to detach from the material desires. And that is the only way, probably, that we can safely leave the body without pain. And actually, when the soul leaves the body, if it is attached, it causes a lot of pain, and that is the cause for repeated birth and death. So I just had a doubt, Maharaj. Is it the subtle body that leaves later? The physical body is the one that stops first, and then you have the subtle body, which is subtle, the false ego, mind, and intelligence. Is it still covering the soul after death, because of which it is feeling that attachment even after the body stops its function?
Yeah. Subtle body travels with the soul into the next body because it has got all the vasanas, all the experiences, everything, all the data, everything. It's the gross body that actually dies. And the subtle body travels with the soul. Yam yam vapi smaran bhavam tajati ante kalevaram. Whatever consciousness is there, like we learned from the Wasp, whatever you're intensely thinking about and singing, you'll go into that body according to that consciousness. So the subtle body is very important. It's where everything is happening, the desires, the intelligence, the thing, and everything is happening there. But once you're liberated fully from this, you don't even need the subtle body. The spiritual body has everything incorporated. You're liberated from the world, even the subtle body is not needed. You are a standalone spiritual personality who has all these facilities incorporated in you. You don't need even the subtle body. Okay? Yeah. Right. Any other comment or question?
In the chat box, there's a question.
Okay. Maharaj, it is not related to our topic. That one, Ramana Gaurahari or Gopi Krishna. Okay, you. Always in scripture, one reads Krishna consciousness has to be performed with the instructions of the Guru. But many times we don't understand how Guru is instructing. Kindly tell us how Guru instructs. I already told you, I already answered this question.
There's another question by someone else, Maharaj.
Oh, okay. Maharaj, it is not related to our topic. We are seeing a lot of YouTubes and other media on ISKCON Mumbai and ISKCON Bangalore case. What we should be our response? Very soon we'll be having a meeting for this, if you're from Coimbatore, which you are, and there it will be addressed properly. All your questions and answers. This is not the forum for that, but however, I made a mention about it in passing because it had some connection with today's topic. I'll give you a general, since we are seeing a lot of YouTubes and other media on ISKCON Mumbai and ISKCON Bangalore case. Yes, we lost the case. I fought the case for ISKCON in the initial stages before the Aram Prabhu took over. I took an interlocutory application right up from the lower court to the high court to the Supreme Court. I went up to the Supreme Court and we did the needful what we need to do. But everybody is shocked by the judgment because I don't want to get into all the details. The case itself was full of holes because it is a person taking off ISKCON Society's branch, having operated as a branch president. It's obvious to everybody. But when we put into legal terms and all those things, all sorts of interpretations and everything, and the judge who's sitting there does not know what's happening actually on the floor, in the ground. He gets his picture from what people are, each lawyer and advocate is saying, and the documents produced and everything. So it was easy to befuddle him and maybe influence him in some other ways. and get a judgment. But the truth is something different. It's a fact that certain things happened which are not legal, not lawful, not proper, not morally, ethically correct. But in Kali Yuga, it looks like a legal thing means more than just the court and the judges. It means many, many more factors involved. And somehow it was like we were pretty helpless. We did what's required. We take it as Krishna's judgment, and maybe we need to learn many things from it. And the strong lesson I get is it's important for ISKCON to deeply discuss Guru Tattva. It's important for ISKCON to protect many devotees with the proper understanding that Prabhupada gave about initiations, about Guru and all that. And we've also made mistakes. And it's a learning curve that we have to go through. And we need to do what's needful, depending on Krishna. That's a general overall answer. But if you want more specific things, please attend the presentation that will happen next week.
Okay, thank you.
Because in this forum, there are many others who are totally new. And we don't want to be opening up organizational things which we handle day and night as a thankless service and a job for fighting court cases, going to courts and, doing all sorts of things for the sake of Prabhupada's movement, of course. So let's stick to the nice, beautiful instructions in the Bhagavatam, chanting of the holy name, and the more innocent things that we can indulge in. As of now, for all of you, I think that's enough. But if you want to know more and you're really taking such type of responsibilities and you want to be involved, great, wonderful. Please, the next week there will be a session on this for education and for detailed discussion. You can join if you want to. Not online, it's going to be offline. Okay, any other question or comment? Hope you had a great Ekadashi. And I'm going to end it. I'm in Guruvayur because I'm going for the Siveli elephant procession the night at 9 o'clock as a fitting finale for today's Ekadashi. So I have to leave in the next 10 minutes. So all glories to all of you and your interest in Krishna consciousness. May Krishna protect you. Keep chanting. And we will announce the next session of Fantastic Friday things. Tirtha Tilak is here. Tirtha Tilak will announce the next surprising sessions that are going to open up. Stay tuned and you will get the information. Thank you. Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Thank you, Maharaj.
Have sweet dreams of Krishna.
Thank you.
Good night. Good night. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare
Hare
Bol.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Maharaj.
Hare Krishna.